a vodcast series featuring next-level racing ambassadors and content creators. Join us every month as we interview the faces that shape our industry and inspire our community.
Car guy, bike guy, and your best friend, Arty Shaw Jr. is a content creator who works with brands to tell their stories. An automotive fanatic, Arty has embraced social media to share his passions with the world. I'm delighted today to chat with the DaChefBoi himself. What's cooking, Arty?
What's going on? What's going strong? What's going wrong? It is I, the DaChefBoi, cooking it with next level racing, Bonnie in the driver's seat. I'm just here to see what the recipe is.
Hell yeah. No, it's awesome to make your acquaintance. Thank you so much for joining us today. I can't wait to hear all about your journey.
I appreciate it, man.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Arty, you're a car guy currently and a bike guy. Tell me, what's sitting in your garage?
Oh, man. All right. So let's start with the one that causes all the controversy. I got a 2023 last call jailbreak, wide body, 6-speed manual transmission Dodge Challenger Hellcat. It's a dream car of mine, and it's the, I guess, upgrade from the 2018 6-speed manual Hellcat that I had before for a couple of years. I also ride a 2022 Kawasaki Ninja ZX14R. So it's a 1441cc liquid-cooled monster. I have a 93 Toyota Chaser, if anyone's into JDM. So clearly, I don't discriminate. I love stuff. I also have a 2008 Honda Element. That's the production vehicle. Okay, love that thing. You can reverse the rear seats. It's very, very useful. Not the car guy car, but it's not my car anyway. It's someone else. I just heard her knock on the wall. Like, I don't talk bad about my car on a podcast. Okay, so that's what's in the garage right now, and they're all kind of upgrades, if you will, because you can't get to the nuts before you get to the soup,
No, of course, that's right. And of course, like I've seen some of your bike content as well, drifting a little bit away from racing, but as a recent biker myself, I was very interested in reading, like actually watching some of your reels through and learning about them, because I've only just got my learners. I was like, man, this guy knows his stuff. I'm finding it really interesting. I'm finding it really helpful. Your content is like 10 out of 10. Chef's
I appreciate that. So I now need to know, what are you riding?
A Vulcan, a Kawasaki Vulcan. Yep.
So I don't know if you saw the content, right? So there's one bike that I really want and I've wanted for years. It's a Kawasaki Vulcan. Oh my God, I look good on a Vulcan and it feels good. It has it's crazy so because it has that like retro aesthetic, but it's it's like a resto mod. It's like a modern resto mod. It feels so good. I sat on it and I'm like, that's the one I gotta get. So that's gonna be another pickup at some point in the near future. I'm now gonna say Bonnie's the one that made me do it.
That's it. You can blame me for it. Now that thing feels so smooth to ride. It's like riding a modern bike. It's got all the modern bits and pieces, all the modern sort of like fixtures that you can sort of like get comfy with. But then on top of that, you just look like you're driving like an old Harley, and it's just like, oh.
And it sounds
amazing. It sounds so good. My dad was like, are you going to get earplugs? I was like, no, that would ruin the experience. Well, why would I do that?
Okay, so in that, I will say get earplugs. You'll still hear the thing, and you'll hear everything around you, but you'll keep your hearing. Especially if you ride for a significant amount of time. Like I'm in New York City, right? So I'm going from red light to red light, unless I hit the highway, but I'm going to Jersey at that point. And my bike is loud, but I say to everybody, you're on a bike that's at 75 to 85 decibels full scale. So dB full scale, that's killing your hearing over time. If you've ever gotten off your bike and you're like, you really need to get some earplugs. But again, earplugs are really just to keep you from losing your hearing. You'll still hear that. Trust me, you're still gonna hear it. Oh my God!
Are you channeling my father right now? Because I didn't jump on this podcast to get lectured by my dad. All right, Arty.
Well, here's the thing, and I think that's the part of my content that throws people. Because when you hear that there's a dude who's got a Hellcat, immediately you think, well, the content's gonna be takeovers, and I'm spinning, and I'm burning out and stuff. And to be clear, I've only ever burned out at Radford Racing. I've never done it in the street. I've never done it at I I keep my tires for a significant period of time. And I love driving stick because unlike I had a 2018 Dodge Charger. It was an SRT 392, 485 horses at 5,400 RPM, 4,400 RPM. Thing is disgusting. It's just that if you weren't focused at every red light, you were chirping the tires. And you wouldn't mean to do it on purpose. I actually started in second gear. It was an automatic, but you paddle shift up. I started in second gear every time I could because I heard the tire. I felt it. I was losing tire. I think I had 3 sets of tires in a year, which to me was insane. Try explaining that to your significant other who at the time is not a car girl. So she's a car girl now, so she gets it, right? But when I drive stick, I control what the rear tires are doing. I control what RPM I'm launching at. And if I decide I want her to stick or if I want to show off a little bit, then I'm going to do it. But like that's the situation. So my content and the way that I live life has always made me feel a bit like a poser, to be honest. Like I've had massive imposter syndrome doing this content creator thing because, all right, I got a ZX14R, one of the fastest bikes. It's a drag racing monster. I have not touched 100 miles. Okay, one time I went over 100. There's a story there. There's a story there. There's a story there. But I don't touch 90 miles an hour on a regular ride. I just don't.
I don't think being a poser necessarily, like I always say this, especially about video games, right? As a gamer myself, is it doesn't matter whether it's a mobile game or a PlayStation 5 or a $5,000 gaming PC. If you enjoy video games, you're a gamer, right? It doesn't matter if you've got this fancy car or that crappy car in your garage. As long as you are enjoying the car, I would say you're a car person, right? I would say you are free to enjoy cars. There is no gatekeeping.
Mm-hmm. And I think it took this content creator journey for me to believe that, right? Because I had gotten my 2018 manual Hellcat because my dream was a manual Challenger. That's it. It was not a Hellcat. It was just a manual Challenger. And when I learned how to drive stick, like I literally bought, this was in 2021, I bought a 2009 E90 BMW, right? 200,000 miles on it. Like, old girl needed some work, but I was only going to keep it for a little bit. I thought, all right, whatever, I'm going to ride around and everything is cool. So I drove around. I got comfortable driving stick. And at that point, I'm like, all right, what manual Challengers can I get my hands on? I wanted it to be honest. And this might get me in trouble with the car community. Well, it shouldn't get me in trouble with the car community, but there are some people in the car community that might. I was going to take an all-wheel drive, 3.6 liter manual Hellcat. I was looking for that. I was excited about that. I was like, yeah, man, it's great. They don't have those. That's not a thing. You got to build that one. No, I'm not doing it. So, I go up a little bit. I do want a wide body if I'm going up in dollar amount. So, all right, I can get a Scat Pack. But if I'm already paying this much money, maybe I get a little bit of wine. You know what I mean? So I never got it for the concept of like, I want other people to see me, or I want to go on social media. And I was trying my best not to lock the computer, and somehow I did. Please tell me that you can still see me and hear me.
No, I can still see you and hear you. You're all good.
All right, good. Okay, let's click on that thing, and we're just gonna. All right, there you go. Click that button. That was literally the antithesis of what I wanted. I pushed the button. I was trying not to. All right, let's put that down. So I picked up the Hellcat because I wanted to drive. I wanted the feeling of muscle, right? And I guess the story is weird because I had my 2018 Charger. I had given that up. My wife wanted something different. So we had the Charger and we had an X6. She said, I don't want that Charger to stick around because it's COVID. We need one car. We don't even need a car, to be honest with you. We're in the heart of New York City. So give up the X6, give up the Charger. All right, fine. If I'm giving up my power, you're giving up luxury, we're getting power and luxury together. In comes the BMW M550i, 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds without launch mode. That was a face-meltingly fast vehicle. It was like a vehicle on rails. Like you would do this and it would correct itself electronically. Like it was like a video game where you couldn't get it wrong.
Yeah,
I will not tell
my
you
favorite kind.
I was in danger with that vehicle, to be 100% honest with you. For the purposes of legal matters, I'm not telling you how fast I went in that car. Because
I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to be implicit.
One decision. There's one singular decision you have to make when you're in an automatic that's that fast. Put foot down. All right. I want to drive stick. She has the M550i. I've got the Hellcat. Cool. You know how many decisions you have to make when you drive stick for you to hit 100 miles an hour? Do you know? So I wrote, and I told her this. I said, I don't want to drive the M550i anymore. We called it the Mach 5.
Yeah.
I don't want to drive the Mach 5 anymore. She said, why? I said, because I'm afraid of what might happen. I don't want to test my limits. And I've been past my limits a few times. The only thing that pulled me back was the car. So now I'm driving stick. My brother said, hey, you need to be in front of the camera. I said, no one wants to watch me. What are you talking about? No one wants to watch me on YouTube. Stop it. And he and my wife got together and concocted a plan that took 2 years to finally get me to the point where you and I are talking now. And I actually believe that I have the right to be in front of the camera, that I have something that I can offer. And on my wall over here, I will tell this to everybody. Like, I've got nonstop comments of people who say the same thing that you had said, maybe a little more aggressively, because one person called me Moto Dad. But like, literally, your content has demystified this for me. Demystified what? Well, driving stick. What manual transmission is in general, what muscle cars are, what it's like to own one, what it's like to be in the space, and now motorcycles. But now also sim racing. And I haven't gotten a chance to really sit down and show people, hey, here's how I built out my rig. Here's what my $4,000 computer looks like. And you can do this for $500 if you do X, Y, and Z. Here's my build. Here's this. I haven't even done that yet. And they're saying, man, I really want to get into it. Thank you for giving me that go ahead. What?
That's so cool.
And mind you, it's not like we're not saving pandas out of rainforests. You know what I mean? Like, we're not solving global warming, but what are we doing? Self-actualization is a massive thing.
Absolutely.
For you to be able to say on a day-to-day, I go to work, I go to school, I come home. What's my escape? What's my third place? And if your third place just so happens to be behind a Ferrari wheel inside of a next level racing rig, then so be it. You know, it's funny, I wasn't even talking about your Ferrari wheel. I was talking about mine. And mind you, this side comment, the only reason I have a Ferrari wheel is because the one that I got with my Thrustmaster T300, my friend, he does more PlayStation gaming than I do. So he said, I really want to get a PlayStation wheel. I looked at mine. I said, this is a PlayStation wheel. You want it? And he said, I have a Ferrari wheel. What do you want? Man, I'll take it. And on the wheel, it's got this little turn thing. So every time I get ready to start the vehicle, I turn it like it's a key in a car. I love that.
Stop it.
It's
That's so good.
Things. It's the little things for me, right? Like, I don't know that I would have. I got into racing because I liked like video game stuff, but then I had the money to get a car I had no business getting. And now I just want the feeling that I get when I'm out on the real road. And I want to do stuff I can't do out on the real road, you know?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, yes. And I loved your recent reel where you actually had the rig tipped on its side. Like, you can even experience crashing without having to do it in real life. Hey!
Okay, so a little bit of a secret. Obviously, we know it was fake. Like, you know, though it's funny because my friend has a, and you know what's funny? Thank you for that response, because one of the first comments I got on that reel, which hit, last time I checked, it was at like 3.4 or something, 3.4 million.
Wild.
The first comments I got was, hey, we can see that the cable's coiled. This is clearly fake. No, really?
No.
It's not like, you know, my intention was to introduce people to the idea of sim racing in the most comedic way available. That couldn't have been my intentions.
What? So, absolutely not. No.
The reason why I say that people need to like operate in their creativity. I was just putting next level racing wheels on the bottom of the thing. And it was tipped to the side because I needed to put wheels on it. And then idea hits because, you know, my incredibly like talented partner, DaChef gal on IG, she said, hey, I can't believe you crashed your rig. Who the Hellcat owner crashed in real life and fake life too. I said, that's hurtful. Thanks a lot. Camera. Now let's go. So, you know,
love it.
It's an idea of just enjoying the creativity and tapping into it, because I'm a creative. And if you're not a creative, but you're a racer, then you need to race. If you are a painter, then you need to paint. There was a guy, I don't know if anyone's people have to be familiar with him because he's been in literally everything. His name is Ron Canada. I would call him my coach, my acting coach. He's not really my coach, but hopefully he sees this and says, I'm your coach. So Ron Canada said, hey man, you know why we do this? Why,
Hmm.
like Kyra Sedgwick and J.K. Simmons and me and all these other people. You know why we do this? We got the money. We're good. We're good. We don't do this for a paycheck. We do it because that's what we are. We're actors.
Mm.
So, hey, when you see a rig on its side, are you creative enough to throw something in? Like, are you a creative? When you see
Yep.
that, hey, you know what? I see these other people doing this thing. Let me go into a forum and find out how exactly do I get started with sim racing? How exactly do I
Yep.
jump in? You might find out that first turn at Monza ain't that hard for me. You, my friend, are a
Yeah.
racer because I don't care what anybody says. That first turn at Monza is tragic.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my
It
gosh,
could just
Arty,
be that I'm
yes.
tragic. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I wasn't the fastest in my class at Radford Racing, so maybe that's it too. I'm not winning any trophies anytime soon. I won't be on your team. Okay, so like Next Level Racer has a team of individuals that you can see right dirt rally. I'm not gonna be there. I'm gonna be the guys that guys, you got it. You know what I mean?
That's it. I'll be leading the charge. I'll be.
Give me a mic, and they're off. That's the best I got
Yeah.
for you. I got nothing else.
You can commentate. We'll hook you up.
Oh, I love that. Works for me.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. Love it. All right. So you explained a little bit about how you got into your content creation journey. What I want to know is, what is the most difficult aspect of your content creation journey thus far?
I'd say it's two different mountains that I had to overcome. First was like, again,
Mm-hmm.
imposter syndrome. Me even saying like,
Yep.
so to be clear, I've always loved the camera lens. I've always loved
Mm-hmm.
talking. I've always loved helping people. I've always loved like this right here, what we're doing. I love this, but to say that anybody else would love it, mind you, half of it is understanding that it doesn't really matter. Like, will you 5 years from now look back on those videos and smile? Shoot, I
Yeah.
look back now when I look at those videos and I smile. What the confirmation for me, there was one day I went on YouTube and I was looking at old videos, not from my page, but from someone else's page that featured me. And I edited those videos on Windows Movie Maker. It was in like 320p or something like that. It was crazy to watch, but even these many years later, like we're talking like 20 years later, I enjoyed watching that. I enjoyed doing it, and I'm enjoying it. So there's one person I can guarantee that enjoyed it, and it was me. So that was hurdle number one. That was mountain number one, actually, because that took over a year. I technically started this thing in 22, and it took till 23 to make this happen for me to be able to say, all right, cool, this is cool. I like this. I'll do this. Hurdle number two was all of the mean, hateful comments, oftentimes racist, but just comments that made you as a creator say, I don't think I want to keep doing this. And that was one of the things that I was fearful of when it came to the Chef Gal getting started, because I have a couple that live rent free. And I'm thinking, all right, cool. What am I going to do when somebody says X, Y, and Z? Well, clearly we've got to sit down. I'm going to hold her hands and we'll just cry together.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, that never happened on that side. And I'm so thankful for it. I'm so jealous of it, but I'm so thankful for it. Even now, there's some real mean comments on my stuff. But I always think back, my brother, he came over and we were in the elevator coming up. And I said, bro, my man said, insert comment here. Out of pure modesty, I'm not going to say what he said. But I mean, content moderation didn't even hit it. And like, people liked the comment. Dog, it was 14 people that liked the comment, man. And his response to me, I'm going to try my best to chat. He's one of the smoothest dudes I know, okay? At King Zeke, like one of the smoothest dudes. What we eating, dog? That was it. That was the whole conversation that we had. And I looked at him. My frustration was insane. Like, how are you mad at this random human that is inside of a room by himself, and he is now the smartest person in that room because he's the only one in the room? You are coming to a woman that loves you, a team that cares about you, content creation that's popping off. Your studio is bigger than most people's spaces, and you have stuff for days. What are you mad about? You mad because of that? And that was when it clicked for me. That was the second mountain. The hardest things for me were my own struggles, and then understanding that everybody else's comments can't mean nothing to me. Because if they do, then what am I doing it for? You doing it because this is what you need to do? Or are you doing this because you need the approval? Because I keep it 100. If you need the approval from somebody else to do this content creation thing, you need to stop now. You're not getting it. People do not care about, unless you're doing certain things, which we won't talk about out of pure modesty. No one cares about your content until they care about your content. They don't care about your content until you care about your content. And once you do, it'll be worth looking at.
100%. No, I've always said that when it comes to the comments from people, you know, things like, you know, it says more about them than it does about you. But I always think about like how I always frame it in my head as like pity almost. I go, oh, you know what? It's really sad that they feel like they have to be in a position where they need to say something like that in order to make their life more interesting, get some kind of self-gratification. Like, how sad is it that they are in that position, that they need that? And then I don't feel angry anymore about them. I just feel sorry for them.
It's funny because that is such a true statement. I still don't connect with it, but it's the truth. The truth is, like for me, when I see a comment like that, I just think, man, I got it made. You got it, dog. But like it is true. What type of person gets gratification from bringing someone down? Well, it's funny. I don't know if I saved this reel, but there was a reel of a person who was diagnosed as a malignant narcissist. And she said, I am currently being treated for my narcissism. Let me tell you what it's like to be me. And mind you, she was not saying that, you know, I hate all people. She was saying, this is something I suffer from. I don't get joy in life. I am endlessly bored. It brings me joy to bring your day down. It actually does. Yeah. That's what I'm seeking treatment for. That is why I'm seeing a psychiatrist literally 4 times a week. And I've been doing so for 100%. Years, and will continue to do so. And I'm like, wait, really? That's what it's like? And we kind of all knew that that's how some people were. We kind of knew that. Yeah. But to hear it, to hear someone say, this is how life is for me. Endlessly boring, never fulfilling, no matter what I do. And it brings me joy. The only joy I can get is when I bring your day down. God, that sucks.
Yeah, so yes, it is not the way to live.
I mean, it's not, but there are some folks out there that ain't doing what she's doing. She's getting help for it, and they're not. And therefore, they are lashing out in these very mean, hurtful, hateful comments, which again, like you said, pity you for it. But for me, I remember what I got. I mean, I'm standing next to a bunch of breaks that were sent to me by one of my favorite companies, Power Style. And they said, we really like your content. We want you to try this out. And I said, I can't guarantee a video. They said, that's fine. Because we don't want you to guarantee a video. We want you to try it out. And then, hey, review it or don't. My content got me in touch with another brand that I love. Those bricks have gone on every single vehicle that I've ever owned. I owned a number of next level racing products before we even started working together. I love this brand for forever. And we're actually working together. Like, that's crazy to me. So why am I sitting here sad in the corner crying? Why am I in my bed, like thinking of the meanest thing I can say? I can't believe I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll just say it. I went to a few friends and said, hey, can I pay you to give me really mean things to say back to these people? Because I've got some real snarky friends, man. Oh my God, they're mean. Their comments are mean, okay? Yeah. They would be great if they did comedy. But especially my boy Tim, he specifically said, I can do that. It won't get you anywhere because you're not that person. That's right. You're not that kind of person. You're not even a nice guy. You're a good guy. So I won't do that for you. I said, okay. Hated him for it for a week. Now I look back
but a top tier friend. Yep.
Top tier, best friend in the world. Love that guy. No matter what I do, he's got my back. You know, like I think the other thing for me is like everyone needs a team. Because those hurdles, those mountains, I overcame them with a team, right? And I mean, there are some people who do this alone. I don't know how they do it. But even then, honestly, you're not really alone. Those folks are not really alone, right? They've still got the backing of people. You may not have them arm in arm with you, you know, like the what was it, the Spartans 300, where my shield isn't for me, it's for the person next to me. That's the kind of team I got. My team is, I don't even protect me. I'm protecting the person next to me. That's how strong our bonds are. But there's some folks that don't have that, but they do have a team. It's a little bit different. So yeah, I don't know how to do this content creation thing without a team, without people that I can say, look, this hurts. This really hurts. I didn't like it. Okay, what we eating later? Oh, I shouldn't be focused on that. Got it. Burritos. We're eating burritos later. Okay.
Now I want a burrito, Arty. Come on,
I'm
it's
so
nearly
sorry.
lunchtime.
I'm so sorry.
You can't come in here with your chef boy persona and then start talking about burritos. I'm hungry, man.
The problem is, right, I'm 6'2", 280 pounds. Right? So that tells you I eat. I will eat and I will eat nonstop. I eat food. So my arms look tiny. My God, my arms are little. All right, so I got some work to do. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's I got you on food, man. I always mention food. I mess people up all the time. I talk about literally around the corner, and down the block. I've got no less than 17 different restaurants I can hit. Welcome to Brooklyn, baby. And they don't close till 1 a.m. on a Monday, or for you a Tuesday.
Love it. Yeah. So Arty, tell me, what sims do you play on your next level racing rig?
Assetto Corsa is where I got my start. So always going to start and end with Assetto Corsa. Specifically because my boy Fabio, I will name drop from now till the end of time, primarily because these are the people who, again, my team, right? If I reach out to Fabio right now and say, hey man, I want to set something up on Tsukuba and I don't think I can hit the bus stop right. Okay. Load it up on Discord. I'll walk you through it. My God, you know what I mean? Like, I want to learn how to drift. I can't teach you that, Arty. You don't have the patience. Nope. You don't have the patience for it, Arty. Not right now. I'm going to need you to hit Tsukuba 5 times more, and then we'll figure it out. But, you know, Fabio was the one that said, hey, you know, I think the biggest reason why you're having such a difficulty with getting over, like, even getting into the rig is you're thinking about doing what you see me do. Right, because he's been in simulations since, like, what is it, Gran Turismo 1? Like, he's been in this space. He understands this space. The man drives in real life too, with nasty cars and so on and so forth. Hey, I need you to just go to Highlands Short, right? I want you to take a Fiat 500, okay? And I want you to just get around without touching the walls. I know Highlands Short in my head, like most people know Monza, okay? Highlands Short, I have spent hours just taking random cars around there and just getting through it, right? So Assetto Corsa is number one for me. That is the proving ground. That is the place where you go when you have a PC that can run the thing, which, by the way, a 3070 does just fine. How do I know? Had a 3070 in there and ran the thing immaculate. Here, I thought I needed a 3090. In 2020, I got like 3 3090s and put them in systems and tried to make stuff happen. It was like, wait, whoa, you don't need all this, Arty. Arty, if you have a 3090, you can turn all the settings all the way up. Okay, you don't need that.
Heck yeah.
Gran Turismo 7 specifically is that's the next one. That's the PlayStation exclusive. That's the I need to get gold on everything. Because if I can get gold on everything, those license tests are what I'm talking about, then I can learn how to race. I got to catch up to people like you who understand how to get through a track. Because what I want to do at some point is race online. And I don't want to be the guy that slams into other people because I don't know how to get around the track. Because in my head right now, I've got Midnight Club, right? And how do you handle Midnight Club? Well, if a car's right here and you're going a little too fast, hit the car. It slows you down. You know, I don't want to do that anymore. I want my life to be a little different. I want to be better, you know? Because apparently there are 2 scores. I learned that from him because I've never seen it. There's how well you drive and how courteous you are to people and not slamming into them. So you could be great in one score and then tragic in the other, and you're in a lobby full of people who are just tragic. Not good. Not good.
No,
so those are my main 2, but BeamNG is a real cool one for me. Like I love shooting things off of places and going around the loop-de-loop in that beautiful sandbox. I have Race Room. I've been in it once. Race Room scares me. Okay.
Yeah.
It scares me badly. I do have F1 2023.
Okay.
I played it once.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
There are some learning curves to each aspect of this. When people say racing and they don't really understand it, it's kind of like, well, you do realize that F1 is vastly different than dirt rally. And dirt rally is
Mm-hmm.
vastly different than road racing. And road racing is
Yep.
vastly different. And drag racing is that. And then you've got ride. Oh my God, you've got ride. Motorcycles? And then, oh my God. So somebody, we went in the Discord together, and I ride bikes. So, I'm seeing him come around the corners. I'm like, you're gonna crash. He's like, why? Back brake. Now. He's like, back brake, front brake. Okay, cool, we're good. You have to control both brakes. My God. So I gotta get comfortable with one and one style, one place. A settle course is gonna get me there, and I know that because I've been in there nonstop.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I remember when I started at Next Level Racing, I actually didn't have much experience in terms of like sim racing personally myself. The first thing I think I tried was a lap in iRacing. And I was like, this really isn't for me. And then a mate of mine set me up on a full motion rig with Dirt Rally. Oh my gosh, that is my life. I love that. That's so much fun. The other week we had an event with Mad Mike, the drifter. And to do that, I had to learn how to drift. I've never drifted before in real life or in a rig. So I had one of my coworkers show me how to drift, and I was trying to do like donuts. I failed miserably. I was not good at all. And of course, that server was a server where you could tap people. And I was like,
in doing donuts, just get a Hellcat. It's meant for it. I'm good. Come on. And then if you got a Hellcat that's got the right intake, it's great. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Just throw it's funny, like a new age computer programmer, throw more horsepower at it, okay? It'll be fine. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I was shockingly abysmal. I did not end up entering the competition because I didn't actually want to, like you said, right? It's the courteous thing. You don't want to hit other players. I was like, it'll be all well and good if I could just go in there and fail my donuts on my own. But I'd be doing it where I'm hitting other people, annoying other people who can actually drift. I was like, you know what? No, I'm good. I'll practice for next year's one. I'm good.
That just means that, and that's the thing with the motion rig, you can feel it's fun. So I've never drifted, but I drive a Hellcat. Obviously, I've slid corners. Now, I've not slid a corner because I wanted to. That's a lie. I've definitely let's not pretend I haven't. Let's not lie. We're not gonna lie right now. Okay, we're not gonna lie.
No.
I've absolutely
This is an honest
corners
space.
on purpose. Okay, I've absolutely man. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. But I've never actually felt it like. So then there was it was last year actually. I went to the unveiling at Las Vegas, the unveiling of the Demon 170. I got invited out there by Dodge. So hanging out there with the folks at Dodge, and they had a bunch of thrill rides, and one of them was drifters taking these Hellcats. It was such a great sound. It was like 3 Hellcats going around and around and around. Now, I was VIP. I didn't have to wait in line. I have to throw that out there. I was VIP. It felt so good. I still have the VIP tag somewhere. So I'm jumping in there, and I felt from the back seat a Hellcat. I mean, he reverse entried it, I guess, because he heard me talking about it. Was actually on me and Knockout 360 were in the car together. I'm not sure if you're familiar with his content, but big guy on YouTube. So we're in the back, and he said, "Oh, you guys are here." Reverse entry 3 times. My gosh, this is ridiculous. It feels so good. And then a Knockout asked me, "Are you going to do that in your car?" Absolutely not. You must be out your mind.
Yep.
You're crazy. No. But yeah, I love the idea. One of these days, so one day I will, and this is, I'm just going to say, I'm going to put it here first. And when it happens, you can go ahead and play this back for the people. I will, maybe not in Formula Drift, because obviously like that requires years of experience, but I will be at least a C-rated drifter, but I'm only going Dodge. So I am bringing a Dodge Challenger, maybe two spaces like Englishtown. And I will be drifting. My God. And I'm only doing Dodge. Man. Great. It's great.
We will hold this clip, and when it happens, I expect you to clip it. I expect you to post it everywhere. I expect you to be like, you know what? I predicted the future.
I told you guys what was going to happen. I told you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can make your own future happen.
Out there, but no, I'm going Dodge. I'm sorry. I have to. You'll be the only one out there. They're going to say, "Oh, look, it's a boat." Yeah, it's a boat going sideways.
Amazing. All right. So we've talked a bit about cars. All right. We've talked a bit about motorcycles. We talked a bit about your sim racing.
Mhm.
But I know that you are starting to get into sim flight. You want to talk a little bit about that?
100%. When I was younger, I saw, obviously, I mean, we all saw Top Gun, right? We all saw Top Gun. We saw the
Oh,
old one, we saw the new
yes.
one, we saw Top Gun. But it's weird because Top Gun didn't get me excited to be in flight. What got me
Oh.
excited to be in flight was the first time I'd ridden, like, driven. Well, first time I flew, right? And it was kind of weird because, like, I'm on a plane. I don't even remember where we were going, to be honest with you. I was with my parents at the time. And I remember them saying, hey, chew some gum so your ears don't pop. I said, what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I remember, okay, this is weird. I'm going to say it too. I don't care. I'm going to say it.
Go for it.
Very attractive flight attendant. I was like 10. Like, Arty,
Yeah.
very attractive flight attendant came out and she grabbed me on the shoulder and said, honey, when this is over, do you want to come to the cockpit with us? I said, with you, I'll do anything. Obviously, it was more like, with you, I'll do anything. You know what I mean? My dad was happy about that. He said, go ahead, boy. My mom said, you better not talk like that no more. So, all right, whatever. And I actually said that to her. That's the crazy part. I actually said that. So at the end
Oh
of
my
it, me and my
gosh.
sister go to the cockpit. We get these, like, thing, whatever. And then he says, have a seat. Now, I'm starting to freak out a little bit because all you see is massive numbers of buttons. I see these
Mm-hmm.
graphs. I see these random things blinking. I see
Mm-hmm.
this weird U-shaped thing. And he says, go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and grab it. No, I'm not grabbing that. You were using that to move the plane. He said, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
You're good. I said, all right, fine. I sit down, I grab the thing, and the first thing I realized is I was leaning forward, it went forward. I said, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird. I've been in a car. At 10, I was in a car at one point, and the thing went like this, and I could push on the thing and it didn't go anywhere. So what is
Mm.
this? And I got
Yep.
the co-pilot explaining it to me, and I remembered everything he said. This makes it do one thing. This makes it do another thing. And this is what we
Yep.
use to make sure that when we get into the air, we stay in the air as opposed to, like, moving around. But this is how we move around this way. And this is cool. Then I watched Top Gun and I saw something different. Dude had his hands
Yep.
down here. And I said, what is happening? What is this? What is going on? And then my mom explained, and mind you, she doesn't know anything about flight, but she at least has enough common sense to know these two things are different, but
Yeah.
similar.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe do some research on it. So I wrote a paper, and this is probably like fourth grade. I wrote a paper on the difference between the two because that's what my mom made me do. My mom made me do stuff like that. That was not for school. My mom made me write 3, 5, and 7 paragraph essays with thesis statements, and also conclusions and concluding lines and transitional lines. Okay, this was who my mom was and who she is.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But I love the fact that she did that because now I'm able to do it. But anyway, my idea of flight then started to bubble. But there's no one around me that's doing that. There's nobody I know that's a pilot. There's nobody. So it kind of like simmered down a little bit.
Yeah.
2021 is the year that changed everything because I reach out to my boy Fabio. His name gets dropped again.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, hey, I can help you build your sim rig if you want to. Man, we picked all the stuff we needed, including a next level racing GT track. My God. I'm still going to say, as much as I love my FGT Elite, like I love this thing. And it's actually smaller and it fits in. This is the room that it fits in. I mean, like, I've got an entire desk. I've got an entire and I still have room to walk. See, look. Like that,
Yep.
You can build a rig inside of a New York City bedroom-sized room. It's amazing. But that track at the time was amazing. I loved it. It was great. Getting that thing, and I'm like, oh, this is great. This is great. And sitting in it for the very first time brought me back to being in the plane.
Wow.
I don't know why.
Yep.
I have no clue why sitting like an old person, turning and putting my feet in and grabbing the wheel made me think about flight all over again.
Yep. Wow.
Well, opportunity presents itself. Okay, well,
Yep.
Cowboy Bebop is one of my favorite animes of all time. Guyver, Cowboy Bebop, and then there's another one, but I won't mention that because I can't mention that. Anyway, Cowboy Bebop, and oh my God. I have the song in my head. Seatbelts. What was it? I forgot what it was. It was by Seatbelts. Anyway, the theme song to Cowboy Bebop, and that's in my head while I'm thinking of flying. Like I'm thinking of,
Wow.
maybe I want to get into flight sim. I have no idea where to start. I don't know what a HOTAS is. What is that? What is a yolk? The only yolk I
Yeah.
know of is the one I eat on a regular basis. So did a little bit of research
Eggs
and
on
and it just
toast.
kind of came together. It came together
Hmm.
and I suck. I am trash. I am not good. I have crashed this thing so many times. It's not okay. I cannot follow
Hmm.
simple instructions. Thank you. 30 degrees left. 30 degrees left. Why are you going right, sir? Sir. Oh, okay. Wait. No, don't put it like that. It's not a car.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, yes. Our our flight community manager, Batter, is looking at doing a series where we actually take random people from around the office because he's a commercial pilot by trade, and he's gonna like
that
teach
is a
us how to
commercial
like
pilot.
yeah. He
No
now he
wonder
now
this
works in
guy knows
marketing. He doesn't do it for
everything.
his day job, but yeah.
I know, but like, no wonder he knows everything. That's
Yep.
so.
No.
Huge shout out to Batter. Like every time I ask him a question, he gives me an in-depth answer. But the answer, and this is how you know someone that knows what they're doing, right? The answer
Mm-hmm.
is very quick, then expounded upon, given
Mm-hmm.
more exposition so that you can go deeper if you want, and then round it
Mm-hmm.
out small again. It's always in conclusion, this. But he also
Yep.
splits it in two different directions. One is IRL stuff after he talks about what matters to me, the sim stuff. It's
Yep.
great. The guy is a genius. And now I know why. It's because he loves this. When you love a thing, when
That's
you're
it.
obsessed with a thing, you're going to be better than the people that are studied. And if you're studied and obsessed, you're Kobe. Batter is now known as Kobe. Just let him know I said that. Yeah, I put that on wax,
I
baby.
will.
Timestamp was 49:15. You tell Batter,
Yeah.
DaChefBoi said he's Kobe.
I will. I'll let him know.
I
He'll
ain't taking
love
that
it.
back,
But
guys.
no,
I won't
yeah.
take that back.
No, absolutely not. No. But I mean, like that again, that's just, part of that, right? That passion, that drive, that, it really comes through. No, absolutely. Yeah.
And I think the best part about someone who's got that passion and drive, right? So, because if you think about it, one of my favorite things to do with ChatGPT or any LLM is explain this to me like I'm 5. And then I
Mm-hmm.
get the grand overview of it, right? Then I say,
Mm-hmm.
explain it to me like I'm 15. Then I get a
Mm-hmm.
little more detail and a lot more exposition. Keep going until I get to like 35. And then I say, explain it to me like I'm an expert. And then I get even more exposition. All right, cool. Now I can explain it to you in the easiest and the most simple or the most complicated way, period.
Yeah.
When you have somebody that has that ability and they're the minds behind the stuff that's going on for people like me who I want to get a taste. You know what I mean? I want
Yeah.
a little bit of a taste, like a little bit of what it's like to fly a jet fighter. I will
Mm-hmm.
never be able to get in a jet fighter. You know why? I don't want it bad enough. But I
Yep.
do want to know what it feels like. It's like the Rock Band effect. We all remember Rock Band, right? You grab the guitar and you play. I know what it feels like to learn a solo. I don't know what it feels like to learn a solo. I know what it feels like to learn a solo. I don't know what it feels like to learn a solo. It's such a weird paradigm. But these people who are experts at their craft helped me to feel, even for just a moment, even for just play, what it was like. It's like,
Yeah.
the xylophone, like I played the bells, the glockenspiel, if you will, alongside all the other rhythm instruments in my jazz band. But I remember going back and playing the little xylophone thing when I was a kid. But it's not like that, but it is like that because I'm basically playing the xylophone when I do Rock Band. I am in a racing rig when I'm in my next level racing rig.
Yeah.
I know about racing and driving and stuff because in 2009, I got my license and I was driving
Yes.
ever since. I came into this after the fact. I came into sim
Mm-hmm.
after, but I know someone, Marco Almeida, love that guy, the brother to Fabio. And his first experience driving was with a controller. Then he got a racing rig, specifically mine. But also he drifts. He's an esports drifter. Like he's nasty at this thing. He does this thing. I will watch him for hours on Discord drifting because this is what he loves to do. Then he learned how to drive IRL.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the few people on earth that have driven my Hellcat, both of them. And she's stick. He refuses to drive anything else. He's got a 2008 E90 Beamer as well. Well, I had a 2009. He's got a 2008. it brings people to a space they could never be in. That's why I love NLR, because it's a space that I could never be in. I'm never driving at 150 miles an hour going around Tsukuba. I refuse. You must be out your mind. You know how many times I flipped the car over doing that? Not doing that. I got a video I'm going to drop soon. People want to know how the rig got turned on its side. I'm going to show you the car flipping. I'm going to show it to you. Car flipping over. It's not good. Not good. Let me do that in real life. Well, the chef boy used to be with us, but now he is in car heaven. You know, no, he and the car merged. Okay, one. They are now one. Okay, didn't know which heaven to put him in. So he put him in car heaven. So now he's talking to the 1970s vehicles of his dreams.
Wild.
I
Oh my gosh.
Come out of my mouth sometimes. And you know, the worst part is I think before I speak. So I thought about that before it came out. Unacceptable.
All right. Well, we're going to move on now because we actually are coming up to the most important part of this podcast.
All right.
Arty, show us your rig.
All right. So I've got a Next Level Racing FGT Elite Light, but now I also have a shifter add-on because, you know, I do it in real life. I've got to do it in the game as well. I had to outfit it with the right monitor. I don't want to tell you that I put a 50-inch on there, but I did. Now I actually have a smaller one, a 34-inch monitor, just because it makes sense. And I love the fact that you've got the monitor mount that goes directly onto the rig. So as I move this thing around, I don't have to worry about, oh, well, I have to take it off of the wall. I've got my Thrustmaster T300, which just kind of fits well. The thing I love is when I upgrade to direct drive, I already know I've got a rig that supports the thing, and it just feels good. Got the ERS3 because why not? It feels great, and it actually, like, it forms to my body in a way like my actual car seat does. And I love the fact that it feels like I'm getting in and out of a car when I get in and out of the rig. HF8 because, oh my God, two things are true. One, I love the immersion and the feeling of the things that I'm used to in real life. That was why I got my original HF8 years ago, because you have spots on your body that you are now feeling respond. And number two, the new software that's dropped for the HF8 is phenomenal and allows you to fine-tune exactly how you want things to feel. The one problem that I have with the HF8, my boy Fabio told me, hey, it feels a little too aggressive. I said, well, we can dial it in or dial it up, however you want to do it. Didn't work as well until this new software update. And now it feels really good. I've got a bunch of other random things like I got a fire extinguisher on there.
What? Can I ask why?
I love the most about Next Level Racing stuff. It just, the slightest bit of ingenuity, the smallest bit, allows you to do fun things like this. This is mounted to my rig. How? Because I'd have to take the bolt out, but the bolt meshes well with the T-nut. And it has a thing on it already that goes into the wall. So you're really supposed to put this into the wall. All I did was put it into the rig. The T-nut fits perfectly. I mean, my God, you just slide it right back in. It's great. You know?
Is that extinguisher there in case you crash the rig again? Is that what that is?
Yes. Yes. Why would you have a racing rig with no fire extinguisher? What kind of racer
of course.
are you? You know what I mean? So, yeah,
is that smoke the fire or is that the tires burning? I can't decide.
So,
okay.
There's a portable fog machine that I oftentimes run, but I haven't set it up perfectly to operate with the rear tires. But it's there.
My gosh. That's insane.
It will happen. Okay? It will happen. And I'm going to kill all
I have to see this in my lifetime.
In my spot, okay?
Your whole building gets evacuated and you're like, oh, sorry, I was just doing some donuts.
What happened? It was coming out of that suite. It's like, Sweet D's just doing donuts. Don't worry about it. How's that things? Oh my God. Oh my God.
My goodness.
For a button box, I have my my God, the Stream Deck, which I think is perfect. Like it's simple. I 3D printed something to hold the thing on there so I can push buttons on it as I need to, kind of like taped it on there. There is another one I'm going to actually design where I can, again, use my T-nuts and kind of just get it into the side and call it a good day. And then I also have another monitor, a smaller monitor. It's really just a tablet, and I'm using a specific software program to mirror wirelessly over the network. I forgot the name of it. Space Desk. Space Desk is what I'm using. It's phenomenal. And it literally treats it like another monitor. So I can have Discord on the tiny monitor, and it's a touchsime because, you know, the device is a touchscreen. So hey guys, real quick, I'm streaming. Tell me how to get through the bus stop again. That's literally how I sound while I'm doing it. It's not good. I told you. And that's the fun of this sport, right? Or the fun of this thing that we do. The people that can get around the track and are looking at records, setting records, like world records in Assetto, they're in the same lobbies as me. Except they're accepting of me. You know? It doesn't matter that I'm 6'2", 280. It doesn't matter that I sound the way that I do, whether I sound like this or I sound like this. It doesn't matter what I drive. It doesn't matter what I don't drive. It doesn't even matter my age. I'm in the space, and I'm sucking up a storm. And they say, all right, cool, you can come with me this time, and then you'll go with this guy next time, and then we'll all just race together. And I can tell them, here's my rig, and here's how much it costs, and you can do something different because there's a wheel stand. Grab the wheel stand and just sit in your seat and do the work from there. I just gave a wheel stand to a friend of mine. Hey, if you need more space, you've got a literal folded, I call it the lawn chair. I love it. Like, you fold it out, you sit in it, and it saves space when you're not racing, and then you can run your cables as you need to. You know, hey, when it comes to workflow, I'm the guy. You know, the people who've been racing for forever come to me and they ask me, how do you set this up? Oh, let me get started, baby. This is how we do it. You know, I had a couple people, they saw a fire extinguisher in one of my other videos. They said, how did you even think to mount that? Well, let me talk to you about the build. Let me talk to you about how Next Level Racing's stuff is set up and why I think it's super cool, because it gives you literally limitless options insofar as you can either do metal work, or even if you can't, because I can't do metal work. I don't do metal work. What do I look like? But if you don't do metal work, here's how you can play with the things that are here.
Yeah.
Oh, your cable management's amazing. Let me tell you how to get that done, baby. I got you on. That bus stop, on the other hand, I'm going to wait. Tell me you got the joke. Waiting at the bus stop. Sometimes I just go straight through.
My goodness. Arty, thank you so much for today. If people want to find you, where can they find you?
On IG, it's my actual name, at Arty Shaw Jr. Everywhere else, at DaChefBoi. I post regularly, and if you want to get in touch with me, IG is the best place to reach out to me, because YouTube, you're going to leave a comment, and I'm going to hopefully get to it. But I love answering questions. You know, I'm billing myself as the stupid question guy, because my content is based around telling people it's okay for you to not have answers, especially if you did it, haven't started, or you're just confused. It's fine. Google can't answer for you if you don't know what you don't know. So I'll give you the answers, or I'll help you to get to the answers, or you'll just get some education, because that's the real recipe, is getting people what they need.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time today, Arty. If you've been inspired to begin your sim racing journey, or if you're itching to upgrade your current setup, be sure to check out Next Level Racing.